I'm Vicki Hogarth, and welcome to Southwest Magazine. Charlotte County Archives is bringing back its historic home movie series to the community. Here to talk about it are Franklin, Cardy, and Anna Krentz. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
It's exciting to have the home movie series come back, especially for winter in Southwest New Brunswick. January 26th, you'll be showcasing the first film from this year's edition. It's all about the Vincent Massey playground and how it got started, a playground that kids are still enjoying today. Franklin, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about why you're launching with this video, and it will be at NBCC at 2 p.m. But what can people expect to see when they arrive?
Well, we'll be having an hour-long program, excuse me, an hour-long program, but we're going to feature the video that was made in 1992 to 3 of the process of creating the creative playground. And this was really a community effort led by an architect who came and talked to all the school children and asked them what they wanted in their playground. And then he pulled it all together. And then Alan Dunfield and Rob Stevenson particularly pulled together the whole community to work on this playground, constructing it within 1 week, 5 days in 1993. Brian Dixon led a team that filmed all this, and I found this in your archives as old video VHSs, and we digitized it and as best we could. And then there was 2 hours of this, so I cut this down to about half an hour and mixed it up a little bit, put commentaries over other parts, and speeded up the process in some places to make a half-hour video, which I think is quite fascinating. And so there are a lot of shots of school children in 1992-3, and so I thought this would be a really good one to open with, because there are many people around in the community still who would have been probably in this film, and if they can recognize themselves, well, come and have a look.
We're actually going to take a short look at creating the playground right now.
It's like a big game of make-believe. You make-believe you can have anything in the world. Anything in the world. And if you could have anything in the world, what would you put on the playground first? What would you want more than anything else? Now, it's got to be safe, and somehow we've got to be able to build it. But if we can build it, you can have it. What would you like? So you climb up a rope. Now, ropes are tough to do because ropes can break too easily, and they wear and all that, but we can do the same thing with a chain and like with a rubber hose on it or something like that, so it's much tougher, but it's soft to hang on to. A dungeon underneath. Okay, that certainly would be the place thing to have in the scary part of the castle. It's scary enough. What would you, I hate to even ask, but what would you have in the dungeon? Chains in the dungeon where you'd be chained down. Okay, fine.
Bar maze.
A bar maze. You mean, you go through this and it's a bunch of bars in it? That's an interesting idea. Everybody wants to sit right down, and everybody can see. They all sit down, that's good. My name is Bob Leathers, and I'm an architect. Now, who knows what an architect does? What's an architect do?
An architect is somebody who, he sort of makes the ideas and draws up the sketches for buildings and structures. Right,
that's exactly true. That's called design, is when in fact you put these sketches together. But not he or she. In other words, what happens, men and women are architects. And they do draw pictures of what's going to get built, well, buildings, usually. And that's called designing something. But today, I'm not designing a building. What am I designing today? What is it?
Playground.
Yeah, whose playground is this going to be? I am not designing the playground. There are several experts here in town now. The experts. Anyone know who the playground experts are? Who are they?
Yeah. Us.
You are. You are the experts, and you are designing it, is true. Now, you've already started that. You already did drawings, or at least a lot of you did drawings, of what, in fact, this playground should be. We're going to go through all those drawings and get ideas from different drawings and put them together into like one big drawing. But also, this is your chance right now to tell me what you feel a playground should really be. You can have anything in the world on this playground.
Wow.
Sunday afternoon of the week that everybody has been waiting for. We are in the area of the Creative Playground construction site. The construction to begin on Wednesday. Guys, how are you feeling right now?
Excited, really excited. Things are falling into place well.
Good evening and welcome. It's been done, it's here, it's great. Of course, I'm talking about the Creative Playground. We're right in the middle of it. I think the community has found out something about itself now.
Oh yeah, we're really impressed that so many people are happy with the experience they've had here. We were relieved that it went well, but we're also very happy that people are enthused and excited.
This is Chris Flemming on behalf of our production crew, hoping that you'll have a pleasant week and that you'll join us again for more of the people and the events that make up St. Andrews today. Good night.
I'm pretty sure I saw Jenny Smith in the video. I was looking for my cousin Katie McDonald because I remember how excited she was back when she was a school child there, and having that playground come together. Extra special for us at CHCO back then was when the birth of CHCO happened. It was known as St. Andrews Community Channel. To see Chris Flemming, who is no longer with us, host St. Andrews today in this video. I will say there were some pretty teary-eyed people in this room to see that come on and remember where it all began for us here, to see where the playground began for people in the community. But there's so many levels of history of St. Andrews. I can't believe I'm old enough to feel so historic about my own life and the place I work, but it's incredibly special.
And so we will also, that's about a half-hour film. Alan and Rob and Brian said they would probably come, so if people want to ask questions of them in real life, they can. But we will also have previews of other home movies that we will be showing subsequently, so there'll be another half-hour of previews and of our home movies.
And Anna, why kick off with this particular video? What was it about the playground that you thought this would be a great way to kick off this year's edition of the series?
I mean, like both of you, I think there is something really compelling about this material, the way the community does all come together, the way the kids are engaged. It's really good community content that way. From the archival point of view, it's also a neat feature because the archives itself holds, of course, much more than videos. We have hundreds of thousands of documents and photographs and maps and things like that. And people often think that these are all going to be very old, that history is a long time ago. But history is, the 1990s. It's childhoods or young adulthoods or full adulthoods for some of us. And in the case of the St. Andrews Creative Playground, the archives does hold a collection of original materials from the playgrounds. The process of planning and carrying out the playground. We have some of the schematics of it. We have photograph albums of the building of it. We have the hand-drawn logo that was done for the project, correspondence, and all of these things. So I think it's a great way also of showcasing that archives doesn't just mean things that happened 200 years ago. It is these recent community stories as well. That's a part of our history and one that we value at the archives.
For me, it just showcases also that power of video too. The way it documents that sometimes we can't in writing, to see these school kids collaborate with the architects of this playground. Kids that we can recognize their adult faces now walking around our community, but to see that level of how a community interacted with each other and how many elements of that are still around today, it was incredibly special.
Absolutely.
So you have, of course, we have about 140 of your programs from the 1990s that we digitized from old VHS tapes. So there's a wealth of interesting stuff in there that somebody maybe one day can go through and maybe pick out some more highlights. Actually, that leads on to the third week. We're going to. I did an interview with Elvira Berzins in 1995, And she was a refugee who came from Latvia to St Andrews in 1951. And she was just before her 95th birthday. I talked to her about what it was like coming to St Andrews without much or any English, and how she managed, and how St Andrews received her, what her experience was, and how she came to learn bridge here, and what she did. She worked at cottage craft and did embroidery, all kinds of interesting things. So that's an interesting interview we've got on the third week, and we think that people will be interested in that. I think you had a look at it and thought it was interesting.
Oh yeah, I thought it was fascinating. It's a different point of view than you often get.
And actually, there is an older an older program that you did in about 95, I think, when she talks mostly about her experience in the war and so forth. And we might try and bring that out again at some point if there's enough interest.
And this is Elvira. Is she 95 now?
No, she's passed on now, but she was 95 in 95.
Oh, okay.
In 2015,
okay.
I interviewed her, I think.
I know, I often think of the work we do here not just as news or current programming, but as future archives. And I think that is an important role that we play, is recording things that can be a part of the archives later. Tell us a little bit about week 2, though. Rolling Dam, you're looking at the perspective of a farmer from that area.
Well, this is something completely different, too. Would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. This video is a really neat one in that it is based off of a piece of archival material that we have, which is this diary that was kept by a man, John Boyd, who was a farmer in Rolling Dam in the 1870s. And he kept this diary for at least a decade, recording one entry every single day. Some are quite simple, that was haying or went to town or things like that. But overall, it adds up to this remarkable picture of everyday life for somebody in rural Charlotte County. So what this video is a project that Franklin and some others have been working on for years. We had the assistance of, sorry, what was her name? Slipping my mind. Yes, so we had a high school student, Sarah Burbine, get involved, and our another one of our longtime volunteers as well was involved in transcribing this diary and gathering some of the images. And then Franklin has gathered more images. King's Landing provided some images and video as well sometimes to illustrate just the kinds of things that this farmer is talking about. So all this adds up to this video, which is a picture of the year of this farmer in Rolling Dam. Kind of here's what happens in the spring and the summer. Here are the people, here are the rhythms. So it is a really neat piece that is a bit of a creative interpretation of this document that we hold, and really brings it to life in a way that is quite engaging.
Anna, you're sitting beside a catalog that will be at these screenings. Walk us through. It's a beautiful catalog, and I don't know if people are aware of just how much video material you have.
Yeah.
Also,
so
that's on YouTube.
This kind of showcases that. So yeah, but there's a little thumbnail and description for all of the many videos that we have digitized, which go all the way back to some home movies from the 1920s, and then extending like these into the 1990s. And the majority, if not all of these, are available online, either on our website or on our YouTube. So you can go to ccarchives.ca, click Audiovisual Gallery to look at them. Or our YouTube channels. We have a couple. We have Historic Home Movies of St. Andrews, and then we also have the Charlotte County Archives has videos that we've created. And we also host on there the Charlotte County Moments that were done with CHCO as well. So anyone who's interested, certainly have a look at what there is available online. But like Vicki said, there is a power to seeing them with other people, and there are new ones that aren't yet available online or in this catalog that are going to be featured. So Franklin has been working on this audiovisual collection for a very long time. Yes. So this is his work.
10 years now.
Yes, so we have all of this thanks to his tireless work and to care for audiovisual material of this area.
Quite a lot of it also from CHCO, because you and us have been working very closely together, and we really appreciate it.
Oh, well, I mean, the Charlotte County Moments is one of the most special projects that we've been able to be a part of, just because I think when you get a chance to delve into your community's own history, you realize, first of all, how much you might not know already, and just the depth and breadth of the stories we have here and how they brought us to the moment where now it gives you such a special appreciation for all the lives that went into building who we are. And oh my gosh, I'd love to do more in the future. But that speaks to the power of the videos you have, is that it gives you insight into what St. Andrews really is. It's not just us here today. It's these stories of the past that have shaped all the things and ways of life we have around us, and it is incredibly special. If anyone's watching at home right now, they might have videos, for instance, that they didn't think to maybe bring to the archive's attention. What should they do if they think they might have something that's of interest?
Well, that's how this all started. Well, perhaps that's how it all started. We put out a call 10 years ago, and you helped, saying, is anybody out there with home videos? Please don't throw them away, bring them to us. And now we have a digitizer, and we can easily digitize.
Yeah, we can digitize 8mm film and VHS tapes very easily, and anyone who donates their movies to us, we're very happy to provide you with a copy of that digitization. Sorry, but yeah, if anyone does have things that we would be interested in. Sorry, did you want to?
Well,
to that?
if you find old film and you don't know what's on it, bring it to us, and we'll put it through the digitizer, because if you start projecting it, it may break or split, or the best way to do it is bring it to us and we can digitize it.
Amazing.
And then we can see what's on it, and and you can have it back. Our only request would be, if it's of public historical interest, if we could have the bits of public historical interest.
I did find a VHS recently that just said Christmas on it. I might be stopping by.
Yeah, we are able to do that. But yeah, especially even for things that seem more recent, like VHS tapes, there can be preservation concerns. So it is probably best to have me or someone else who kind of knows what to look for and what might have happened to it, so it doesn't just get destroyed by the process of playing it. Because things are aging. VHS tapes do disintegrate, just like film does. So, but most things are still fine, and then in that case, we can take care of it.
What are your dreams and visions for the future of the archives, and what it can be going forward?
We really want to be the best small archives that we can be. In short, and there's many components to that. But we really want to have excellent collections care. We want to make sure that as many people can find out about what's in our collection as possible, especially the people of this area, but even further afield. So we are working on making more and more things available online, whether that's just the records of what we have, or it's things like images of photographs, or eventually documents and other things. Because sharing is such a fundamental thing, getting other people to explore those stories. And getting people involved in journalism is something we really want to keep building on, whether that's students. We had students from James Dunn come do research for their Heritage Fair projects, for instance, which was great. We want more of that. We want people living here to come dig up stories of their family or their houses, or just things that interest them, and scholarly researchers too, to come in and look at some bigger histories and contexts. So the more we can engage our audiences, the better. So it's focusing on that going forward, and dealing with some of the challenges that come with being a small archive that relies on grants and donations. So there's always those challenges, but I think we're facing them pretty well.
We think we're very lucky to have Anna here, and somebody with her qualifications and experience. And we hope we can keep her, but we depend on donations. We depend on individual donations to hire staff, and we think this is a really important service for the region. Charlotte County is now a Southwest region, basically, and we're trying to find ongoing sustainable support for the archives, and so that we can keep providing the service we are providing. So come to the movies. Come to the historic movies on Sunday the 26th at 2 p.m. at the New Brunswick Community College in the dining room, and we'll see you there, and bring a donation and we'll give you a tax receipt.
And I should say, frankly, you've been so generous with your words about some of the material we've been able to provide you over the years. But I've had the opportunity to reach out to Anna many times to say, hey, I'll give you an example. We're working on a documentary right now about the Milltown Dam. And I reached out to Anna over email and just said, I'm looking for anything that dates back their whole history. Made an appointment, came into the archives. She had beyond what I ever thought would be available on anything from photographs to maps. And it was just an incredible experience to find out not only that you have these kind of resources there, but also that you have someone like Anna there able to find everything relevant for whatever it is you're working on. Well, very special experience and very helpful for our documentary. So thank you for that. And I just hope everyone at home knows this is the kind of thing you can do at the archives beyond just learning history, is that it's a resource that is so valuable on so many levels.
And there's another thing too that we've cooperated on. As the Courier St. Croix Courier was gradually fading away in the 3 or 4 years ago, we were concerned at archives because the archives depends on archives. And the newspaper of record for the county was the Charlotte County Courier, and St. Croix Courier, sorry. And we were very, very concerned that we were going to lose all the records. And it was really good news when you attempted to rescue it and to see if there was a way to carry on the Courier's brand, I guess, and maybe become the news of record, because basically that's what you are now here in the community.
Has to be. We were very thrilled to be able to buy the paper, donate the archives to the Charlotte County Archives, but also to keep in mind for people that, you know, news is having a moment right now, and a lot of local communities are losing their newspapers. And, you know, I know that some people have negative feelings about what news is, but it's always important to remember that news is the first draft of history. And our stories get lost if we don't have those papers to record our stories in. For me, it's not really about politics or news. It's the community stories that matter the most. It's who we are. One day, we'll all be gone, and that might be what remains. The stories we tell about each other and what we do together. The playground, this first movie being a wonderful example of video that's captured and tells the story of who we were 30 years ago and reminds us of how that's built us up to who we are. So it's been an honor and a privilege to take the Courier on and keep it alive for the community, but not just for tomorrow, but also for us to remember who we were as well. So it's important for us to realize that it isn't just about telling the news of tomorrow, it's having those records to give to you to keep who we were alive so that we have a trail. So thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for spending the time.
My guests today have been Franklin Cardy and Anna Krentz from the Charlotte County Archives. The historic home movie series begins on January 26th at 2 p.m. at NBCC and will run for 4 weeks. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Thank you for watching Southwest Magazine.
We'll get a tour. We've got a lot to do, so let's just launch right into it. Wow! That was great. Hello.